I'm Callise, and you just tuned in to Just the Facts. Normally, JJ Jameson would be here, but Spider-Man tried to ruin his teeth. If you've kept up with his show, which you should be keeping up with, you would know on another episode he had talked about how he was going to the dentist and Spider-Man had caused a huge wreckage, which caused there to be massive traffic, and he wasn't able to make it to his appointment in time. So while he's getting that taken care of, he's asked me to run the show. So I'm going to be sharing photos of proof that Spider-Man is a menace. And I'm going to show it to you just the way JJ Jameson would want it to be shown. During my trip through Spider-Man Game of the Year edition, this can include photos from the DLC content. If you're going to sit there and complain about there being spoilers for Spider-Man, you should click off now. Now, I think we can all agree that criminals need to receive justice. But look at Spider-Man. He bundles them up like they're wild animals, and everyone thinks this is okay because he stopped some crime. Well, he should get a badge and work for the police force instead of leaving this mess and these people in this situation. Here Spider-Man is. He thinks he's stopped a robbery. But what about all the damage he's caused by destroying that window? Do the police officers have to destroy windows to catch the bad guys? I don't think so. And here's a picture of Spider-Man who just webbed some person against the wall. And what about this mess he leaves everywhere? Webbings everywhere. What about his citizens who have to clean up that mess while he goes off and swinging to make more messes? Why don't you clean up your mess, Spider-Man? Here we see this man on the ground. Spider-Man just goes around beating people up, and does he even make sure they're okay? And we think he's a hero for that. And here is a selfie of Spider-Man. He has a social media page, NYC Wallcrawler. He's like the next screwball. He probably works together with her to make those films so he can get more viewers and get even more notice, because that's how he is. And look at that air, it's so polluted. And who's right there? Spider-Man. Why do you think the air is so messed up? Your answer's right here in that picture. Spider-Man destroys the earth. And here is Spider-Man by some black cat graffiti. Why? Because he's probably working with her. And by the way, Spider-Man, get a canvas. Art is meant to be created on a canvas, not on a wall. Here, Shocker is destroying the bank. And what is Spider-Man doing? Taking a selfie. Seriously, shouldn't you be concentrating on the fight? How are you not dying? Spider-Man has webbed this guy to the front door of this building. How are people supposed to get in and out? Did he stop to think about that? No, he just webbed the guy and kept people from getting in the building. Officer Jefferson Davis gave his life to save the mayor. And where was Spider-Man during this? Nowhere to be seen. People were dressing up like Spider-Man on Halloween. It's horrifying to see how many people can see him as a hero when really he's a menace to society. Spider-Man has been seen with these little cat pictures all around town. Now it's said that Black Cat has been hanging out in these areas, and then she robs a place blind. And why does Spider-Man come to these places with these little cat pictures? Because he's working with her, of course. Spider-Man was seen sneaking around outside of Wrath, a prison. And do you know what happened a few days later? Prisoners escape and start terrorizing the police station. Coincidence? I think not. And while all this important stuff is going around in the city, what is Spider-Man doing? Playing cheesy games with the new sensation Screwball when he should be saving people. Spider-Man was seen around town in his underwear. Yes, that's right, like he's some kind of pervert, showing off all those muscular body. Jared says we have a caller on line 1. Okay. Actually, I know what happened. I was in Central Park, and Spider-Man was hit with this poison, and he was having these strange hallucinations and acting really weird. So I don't think he realized what was going on. And after he got the antidote, I heard he went right back to his normal suit, so it really wasn't his fault that happened. All right, next photo. We really need to move on with this. Spider-Man was seen outside of this museum. Surveillance footage puts Spider-Man right in front of a painting. And what happens at this museum? It gets robbed and destroyed. And whose fault is it? Spider-Man. And who do we know that goes around stealing art pieces? Oh yeah, Black Cat. Because why? They're probably hanging out together and working together. So I have just given you proof that Spider-Man is a menace. And just like this picture, Spider-Man is pretty much like the devil.